Good morning, beloveds. It was raining. It was raining when I went to bed. It was raining when the alarm went off. We turned the alarm off. We went back to bed. It was raining when we woke up. And it looks like it's just going to rain all day. Do not get me wrong. We need it. So I was just like, and apparently I needed a rest day. So we have a poem today. This is November 13th. Our title is My Hand in God's. And this is from Florence, Scripps, Kellogg from 1910, published in The Best of Daily Word, 1986, from Unity. All right. My hand in God's. Each morning when I wake, I say, I place my hand in God's today. I know God will walk by my side, my ever-wandering step to guide. God leads me with the tenderest care, when paths are dark and I despair. No need for me to understand, if I but hold fast to God's hand. My hand in God's, no surer way to walk in safety through each day. By God's great bounty I am fed, warmed by God's love and comforted. When at day's end I seek my rest and realize how much I am blessed, my thanks pour out to God, and then I place my hand in God's again. How much commentary can you have on a poem? But let's start with the fact that it's the sentiment of getting up and placing our trust somewhere. Getting up and placing our trust in God. Getting up and being willing to listen to the guidance. More importantly, we're asking for the guidance, because that's what it is. By placing our hand in God's hands, what we're doing is we are stating our willingness to be guided and our attention to be guided. So it's like, okay, yeah, no matter whatever happens today, I'm willing to listen to the guidance and be guided by the source of my own being. And then I know that whatever happens, it'll be okay. It doesn't mean bad things won't happen. Bad things happen. But what it means is that I will be guided through it. I will be guided through it. And when bad things happen, because I'm willing to be guided, maybe I can mitigate some of what is happening. And that's one of those things. It's like, why do we try so hard to handle things on our own? Why are we afraid to ask for help? And not just from God, because we talk about praying up when things are good. But it's like, when you walk into a situation and you don't know how to handle it, well, the first place you go to God, and then the second place is who's around, who might know more about the situation than you do. So it's that thing of being willing, not only, willing to ask for help, but going and doing it. It's like, okay, I'm willing. It's like, I'm willing to be guided by this unseen, power that is in my life. Why am I not willing to be guided by the people in my life? Especially when I know that they may know more than me. It's like when I don't know, because that was something that happened yesterday. It's like, on Saturday night, I heard something, and then I directly asked a question and went, okay. And then the next day I went to somebody else and said, hey, about this situation. So that then when I'm in the situation again, I can handle it with more grace and calm and love and kindness and compassion. I can handle this situation and go, all right. And so I did. I went and asked for guidance. I went and asked for it. And I went, so, and that's what she's talking about. That's what Florence is talking about. It's like, I put my hands in God's hands because I know that when my hand is in God's hands, then I will always be guided to what I need to handle anything. All right. She talks about walking in safety, but it's more than that. It's about being able to handle with grace and calm anything that becomes into your vision. It's like, whatever walks into your life, you can handle it because you've got your hand firmly, you've got your consciousness placed firmly in God. And your willingness to be guided in situations, both from a spiritual level and from, a material level. So, I don't know. Poetry really can speak to you on a level that's just, So, and I appreciate that she says, when I wake up in the morning, I put my hand in God, and then she does it again when she goes to sleep. Why would you not go to sleep? Because if you're working on something, then what you can do is right before you go to bed, it's like, okay, this is what I'm working on, and I would like guidance, and you'll frequently get it. Because your subconscious mind works while you're sleeping. That's what dreams are. So why not, before you go to bed, put your hand back in God? It's just a turn of phrase, but means so much more. All right. There's no need for me to understand, because you're going to be guided. But you will probably be guided to understand it. And we don't have to know absolutely everything to get through a situation. Sometimes we just need enough information to turn it over to somebody who knows more than we do. Okay? And I know that God will walk by my side, my every wandering step. One of the key teachings in Science of Mind is God is all there is. God, there is nowhere God is not. So there will never be a time, no matter how far off the path you think you've gotten, God will always be there. God will always be there. All right. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to place our hands in God's hands. What does that mean? Well, I've already explained it quite a bit. But take a moment and think, what does it mean to place my hand in God's hand? What does it mean to walk with God by my side consciously? It's when I do the closing prayer at services, I remind you, you're always in sacred time, but I'm inviting you to consciously enter it. And that's the same thing here. God is always by your side. But when you consciously place your hand in God's hands, you're consciously entering into that. You are being willing to ask for guidance. You're being willing to ask for whatever it is that prompted you to put your hand in God's. And I'm sorry, when I think about it, I'm always, I don't envision a whole person, because I did the tarot for a very long time. I definitely see the ace of the tarot deck, where it's just the hand coming out the cloud. It's kind of a funny image, but that's what I see. It's like in that moment when I need that connection. So, place your hand in God's hand. What does it mean to you? And go with that. And then the second part of the mission for the day is the same part that is the same thing I say every day. It is the spiritual practice of self-care. Reverend Jesse was talking about spiritual practice and how important it is yesterday, and how it can change your life. Well, self-care is a spiritual practice. And I encourage you to practice it every day by reminding you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Ideally, you're going to get to the point where everything you do is loving, kind, and compassionate, or at least most things. And then when you can do that for yourself, you can do it for anybody, so that everything you do is loving, kind, and compassionate. That is the goal that we are working on. And it doesn't mean that you don't do the hard stuff. It just means you do it with a loving, kind, and compassionate attitude. Trust me, there are tasks that I would rather not do. But if I can do them with love, kindness, and compassion, it goes a little bit easier. And that's why I talk about it every day. And I remind you, you are your own best test subject, so why not practice on yourself? Like I said, I am encouraging you to create a habit so that everything you do is love, kindness, and compassion. But the most important reason why I say it every day is you're a beloved child of God. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. And one of the easy places to start is to take a deep breath before you speak. Okay? There are lots of other ways to practice love, kindness, and compassion. But taking a deep breath before you speak to yourself or others gives you that moment to respond instead of react. I also remind you that it can look like taking a walk, taking a nap, taking a break, which is the human equivalent of turning yourself off and turning yourself back on. I can remind you that saying no to something that is just really draining, and remembering that no is a complete sentence. I can remind you that saying yes to something that pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit, especially if you're in a supportive environment, is love, kindness, and compassion, practicing on yourself. I also frequently say eat dessert first. One, yes, I do believe chocolate is the first step to fixing anything, but more importantly than that, what it means is don't save the good stuff. I'm a big believer now, not that I haven't always been, but it's been, brought more to the forefront of my attention. We don't know how long we've got. So why don't we go out of our way to make the ordinary extraordinary a little more often? So pick a random day, a Tuesday, for example, just because in my life, nothing particularly interesting happens on a Tuesday. So I'm like, all right, this is the day. Where you wear the fancy clothes and use the fancy dishware that you save for holidays. Why not? Why do we just decorate Christmas trees in December? What if you wanted to put it up in June? Why not? Why not? Eat dessert first. Okay. And I also want to remind you, as I always do, simply because I think it's very important. I have a pin that says I'm tired of living in extraordinary times. Or meaning the craziness that is going on in the world. Like, I posted a profile picture and just said the world's been a bit too much lately. It really, honestly, it was just because my husband caught me talking. So I just have a really silly look on my face. But the world's been a bit much lately. So what I want to remind you is joy is a quality of God, therefore joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you deserve joy. So I'm encouraging you to make room for it. That's part of practicing love, kindness, and compassion on yourself. So, all right. The rest of the suggestions are basic self-care. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Unless, of course, i.e. it was raining, and so we opted to take this as a rest day. It's a good thing to do every now and again. Not every day, but, I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better, your body works better, and your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. And I got up too late, so I'm already a glass behind, so I have to make that up. I encourage you to get that early in your day bright light. It's raining today, so obviously there will be no sunlight for me, but artificial light does help. I'm talking 5 to 10 minutes of bright light. And if you need more support than regular household light can do, then I do encourage you to Google sun lamp or seasonal effect disorder lamp. At this point, I think they're light bulbs you can just screw in. So if you need that support. It also supports your vitamin D level, that 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight, which is important to your thyroid, your mood, your immune system, and your bones. I do this every day, and here I am forgetting what vitamin D is good for. And I mean, that's science. You can look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. On all of it, the 5 to 10 minutes, 7 and 9, it's all science. And then I'm going to end up with which also science will back me up on, the quote from Ernest Holmes, that open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Now, what do I mean by science? Backing that up, one of the fastest ways to change a grumpy mood is volunteer. Count your blessings, random acts of kindness. Science will back me up on that. So when I say heaven is all around us, what Ernest is reminding us is that heaven is a mindset. It is a state of consciousness. And once we learn that, when we learn that heaven is a place we have to get to, but can become any place we are, I mean, right there, is your life not just that much better? When you realize, oh, mindset. So if I can create a heavenly mindset, any place I am can become heaven. And think about, if you can walk around in a heavenly mindset, how much better of a place the world is going to be. Because the people that run into you, that encounter you, are going to encounter that loving, kind, and compassionate version of you that lives in heaven. It's a whole trickle-down thing, It's when your life works better, then the people who encounter you have a better experience, and then their life works better. And then maybe they look at you and go, what does that person know that I don't know? What have they got that I don't? An understanding that God is all there is and is always available. All right. And you can always take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice. Look for the good and praise it. That's why I said, count your blessings. Well, that's what she's saying. Look for the good and praise it. When you start looking at the good in your life, especially when you start looking at the little goods, they add up into such big good that it's amazing. So, all right. I'm going to move into the process of my day, but I'm at the social media part by reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So I encourage you to, check all that stuff out. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. And the constant contact, if it says click here now, it'll take you right to the information you want or to the person that can help you get it. So, including there's a constant contact that'll take you right to our YouTube channel. And there's all kinds of stuff on there. The Soul Session playlist is a really good one. That's conversations between Jesse and all kinds of interesting people. I read this thing called You to You, which I think, because I found out there wasn't an audible version of that book. And I'm like, it is the best book. Most Science of Mind ministers, it's in our top 5, books. So I was like, well, I can remedy that. So this thing called You is now available to listen to. I do encourage you to get it and read it yourself and highlight and do all that. But, if reading's not the easiest, you don't have a whole lot of spare time and you got time to listen, there you go. And it's reading with no commentary. So you don't have to worry about me commenting on it. That's just what I do this time. All right. Okay. Yep, I guess I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a dance in the rain day, a get some extra rest day, a be kind with yourself day, a have a compassionate day, a loving day, a get your week started on the right foot day, a take care of business day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. As I like to remind you, you are a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you're a godling. All right? I encourage you to know the truth of your being. And when I say the truth of your being, what I mean is peel back the layers of who you have been told you are by society, by culture, by religion, by people that know you, by people that don't, by all of the stereotypical normatives. Just peel all that away and get to know who God knows you to be. Because I can promise you that person is really good and probably really cool. So just peel off all of the nonsense, get to know who you are, and go from there. All right. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.